Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral, joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command as always. So in today's episode, what we're going to talk about is with the PC version looming on the horizon for the mass. I know some people have access to it early, and I know you can get in the beta testing or the whatever open testing that they're doing at the moment for it as well. However, I know the masses of people probably won't have it access to it. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about the PC version and what features that I would hope to see come in the future after it's been released. I've been one of these in the actual game itself on mobile, but I can understand the limitations with it being a mobile game. But however, moving on to a PC platform, I know they still want to stick to the sort of origins of it being a mobile type of game, and I can completely understand that. However, there's so much more depth and more things that they can do to expand the game and expand the range of people that come to this game, just due to the nature of being on a PC and not limited to a mobile phone. I think the game is probably better and should have always been on mobile on PC. However, it at the end of the day, they've released it on mobile for whatever reason, and then they're now moving on to a PC platform. So let's get into the topics of today's episodes. We're just going to have this playing running in the background, not really doing much, to be honest. So it's going to be in the background. It's going to be me more talking about stuff and stuff like that. I'll see if I can. There's not much game footage, to be fair, to be able to show you either. So we're just going to have to bear with. So some of the features that I've put down, just due to the nature of me doing it more recently in terms of the hostile grinding that everyone has to do for certain events and certain type of topics. One of the features I want to see is auto attack hostiles button or feature or something on the lines of that, where I don't know how easy or hard this would be to code in. However, I believe it would be possible potentially, where basically you set your ship in a system, you click auto, it would then designate whichever the closest hostile was to the ship, and it would attack that ship, obviously then hopefully destroying it. It would then dedicate the next closest hostile, and it would constantly go after whichever the closest hostile was to the ship at the time. Obviously, you can override this by manually attacking still, so you still can have access. However, I find it when it's for the long endurance type hostile grinding missions, I feel like an auto attack feature would be extremely useful, and I would certainly personally benefit from it quite a lot, as I do a lot of stuff in the background on my PC, and I can at least keep that going. And without me having to physically manually do it myself and drawing my attention from something else. Okay, moving on to the next one would be better graphics. So hopefully with the PC version, they have an option, or at least two options. One option would be the sort of standard or SD graphics, standard graphics, and then the other version being, and you have to download it as an extra file, would be then a HD version of the game. Well, I say HD, it's already sort of decent in terms of quality, but like proper high definition. Everything looks crisp. The ships look crisp. Everything looks absolutely amazing. I just want to see them add even more sort of graphics to the game with it being on PC. Obviously, that would be a downloadable feature, but something on the lines of that. Anyway, obviously, I know there's mods out there at the moment as well. However, we're not excluding mods. This is just things I want Scopely directly to introduce to the game. Okay, so just putting that out there. Okay, the third one along that I thought about was added materials / features. I don't mean materials as in material like resources. I mean added material in terms of game material to be able to do. So, for example, I would love to have trade options, not only between players, but between you and an AI. Also, like a trade faction. Ferengi sort of springs to mind since I did a video on them yesterday or today even. It should have been released this morning. So I did a video on them this morning. So A trade faction would be absolutely lovely, where you can go there, you can trade resources, you can do different things and get blueprints, you can get access to pretty much anything, obviously at a price. Alternatively, you could potentially do black market type of deals where, yeah, for 10 enterprise level 34 enterprise shards or blueprints, you have to go and kill a certain felon, let's say, and so you have to track them down. You know, there'll be like a little waypointer as soon as you get closer to them that, you know, it pings to say that's what system they're in, or you get intel on where their location is. I don't know exactly how that one would work. However, a black markety type of thing would be cool. And if you trade in the black market, you get a bounty on your head. So if someone then kills your ship, they get the bounty as a reward for killing you. That bounty could be anything from all the resources in the game. It literally could be anything, to be honest, to even LAT itself. But it pretty much could be anything. Alternatively, you know, if you get away with it, all you got to do is make it back to your base, and you can't use it. You'd have to make sure that you can't use the discovery for these type of missions, because otherwise it'd be completely pointless. But say you have a bounty on your head for 1 or 2 days, you know, depending on the severity of what you've traded or used or whatever it is in the black market, I feel like a bounty hunter-esque style system would be very, very cool to see. So another thing, this is going again to the graphics, but with the PC version Lumen, I feel like a way, I don't know how again they would do this one, but I feel like there could be a way where they did allude to it in a joke on April Fool's. However, I don't see why it couldn't be a thing where they add the inside of ships to the game. You can go and view them. You can access certain things in the ship, like you can warp to other systems, or you can do something. It'll be very, very basic, like extremely basic. However, I feel like that would add even more sort of emergence, sort of pull to the game, being able to just go inside the ship, being able to do certain things from within the ship itself. That would be extremely cool. Moving on from that, I would love to see, again, this relates to what type of engine they use as well. I would love to see it be a bit more like EVE Online now in terms of scale. So you can do so much more things. All the ships are so much graphically better. So it's more emerging, so that when you're controlling a ship, you are the ship, rather than having a sort of game board-esque sort of view of the game like we have now. So you're looking down upon it and then you're just telling a ship where to go. Have a more emergent sort of pull to the game where you physically are the ship and you have to fly around the galaxy and stuff like that. That would be even better. Obviously, you still be able to have access to 4 ships at the same time, so you can still swap between all your ships. However, when you go into a ship, you physically are the ship. That would be pretty damn cool as well to see. And then, like I say, throughout this, please let me know your thoughts on all the different topics or different things that I bring or mention. If you agree or disagree with each one, leave it in the comments down below. That would be much appreciated. Moving on. So a more complex home station. Okay, so what I mean by a more complex home station is not so much the actual station that you're in. So I don't mean so much this station in terms of where you're located. However, I would like an ability that way you can build and expand your home station to other parts of the galaxy, and you can build outstations or outposts, little tiny outposts, and they could be for different things. You know, one could be for healing, so you could just go quickly back there so you can re-heal your ship. One could be for storage, you know, so you can nip there, store some stuff, and then, you know, take it back when you're ready to take back, or something like that. It could be like a holding station or something. Obviously, these would be subject to potentially getting attacked as well, depending on the way they want to work it. But I feel like an outstation might be quite useful in the game, just to be able to reduce on travel time, especially for repairs or things of that nature. And then the last one we're going to talk about, which I've mentioned previously again before, and that is an auto mine button. So when you're on a node, if we, for example, go to this node, I know this node probably won't be empty. So when you're on the node, so you click the node, for example, and you're physically on the node, when that node then goes to 0, instead of having to go like this, go off and then go back on again, instead of doing that, all you do is click your ship, and as part of this, it has obviously location, just move that up one, and then it has recall at the bottom as always, and then right in the middle, it just says auto or something on the lines of that. You will click that, and every time your ship gets to a 0 mine, it will just automatically restart the mine some way. I don't know exactly how it would do, but it would somehow restart the mine so it would mine again. So when it came, for example, I'm more speaking about when it comes to doing the data mining, things like that. Data mining would be so much more easier and more useful if that feature was in the game. And that's all the features I thought about with the PC version looming on the horizon. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, what you would like to see in the game as well. And if this has been useful and insightful, then please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to leave a like to the video as well. Other than that, have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.